welcome to Divine Horses and Humans. I'm Jason J. Divine, the horsey guy. So you're in the round pen watching the Polida playlist. Polida. Right, so we're talking about troubled horses, I'm going to call it. I'm not going to call it problems, I'm not going to call it rescue, I'm not going to call it abuse. They're troubled. And why are they troubled? They're troubled because some human has run them into trouble. That's why they're troubled. So what you have to do is convince them, right, their trouble is not going to show up with you. So by letting them move their feet, and that's exactly what I'm doing now, and so many people in the British equine industry will stop horses from moving their feet because they've been doing it like that since a year dot, and they've still got problems showing up, and they just think it's to do with blowing the energy out of the horse. It's not. I'll tell you what it's to do with: sympathetic nervous system, cortisol. Go Google it, right? So you see she's presented herself on the right hand side there. That's a good thing, because when I worked with troubled horses, and I worked with a lot of ex-race horses that were very troubled, and what we need to keep in mind is it's the human being that got into the horse's life. They didn't go, oh, I'm going to go and get into the human being's life. They got into our life. So when Polida came here, you couldn't touch her eyes like that. You certainly couldn't touch her ears, right? Because she would just shy away from you, flinch away from you, right? Because somewhere there she leans into it, so it stops. She leans into it, it stops. Somewhere in her life, a human's got after her, because no, you keep moving away. There, good girl. Because she was abandoned in a field, hence why you can see she's got the silver leg. She's got some damage up there that was being treated. She's got a pretty messed up knee. But, you know, what am I going to do? Just throw her away? No. But that's what so many people in the British equine industry do. Oh, you should be doing that with the horse, you should be doing that with this horse, you shouldn't be like around horses, right? Because when trouble turns up, right, and that trouble keeps turning up and they can't work out how to fix the problem, so she's presented herself on the right again, so that's where I need to work with her, isn't it? Because that's where she's at this morning. You'll just sell them on and get another horse. Then trouble will turn up again and you'll just sell them on and get another horse. Hello? Because you don't know a foundation. So, dyslexic time is 8:50 in the AM, 28th of June 2025. Right, I get my left and right mixed up, and that's why I started to see this pattern that all these horses have got problems on the right hand side. But you see, once again, she's presented herself on the right hand side because she has played polo and everything is done. It's a right-handed sport. So now she's put me on her left, so I'll just do it on the left. She's cocked her leg and I'll come in with her. So if you've got a troubled horse, right, and you can catch that horse, right, and you can get a halter on it, strongly advise that you get a rope halter, right, not a webbing one, 14-foot lead rope, so you can put some distance between you and your horse, what we call drift. And as you look, there's nothing that interferes with their eyes, because the other problem I see in the British equine industry, when the bridle comes down here, it interferes with their eye back here, right? Created a lot of problems for us in the past, and we've had to resolve it. and we have resolved it. But if we can get a horse to follow us, right, we can get them to accept things, right? It's because I'm at, let's say, 10 foot in front of her, the rope's got a belly in it and I can feel it, right? But I keep doing everything with my right arm, my right hand. I have to do it with the left. Because just like you and I guarantee you this, right? If you're right-handed, you'll clean your teeth with your right hand. Have a go with your left hand. See how it makes you feel, right? If you're right-handed, you'll probably stand on your right foot and put your left trouser leg in, right? Have a go the other way and see how it makes you feel, right? And I guarantee you, it'll freak you out. I guarantee it. So now she's just following, right? We've got something going. We just rub. So once again, that's it. Lead rope over this arm so she can see the tail of the lead rope and I've got control. She goes that way, I can go this way. And she'll turn, disengage. Right? So I come in here and I rub. Right, so one of head shyness is one of the biggest problems I've come across. And if you go up here, right, as I said, we've worked with her. She knows that I'm not gonna smack on her, right? But a lot of humans will come over the top like this. They will come over the top and they do all this junk on from the front and slide it over, and it's all forwards, upwards motion, right? So, and that's how easy you should be able to move a horse. So if we come to the wither and we go up and we rub, up and we rub, right? If we've got a problem at the head or a problem at the rear, we can start here and we can rub, and then we can go up here, and if she starts moving away from it, I can retreat, but she's moved into it, so I just stop. See how she turned into it? I just stop, because then that means she will confront what I'm asking her to confront. So we come up and we rub, and we come up here and we rub, and she's turned away from it, so I rub a bit more, I rub a bit more, I rub a bit more, and she tipped her nose towards me. So the same back. I go back here and I come back. I go back here and I come back. And this is where it all starts. So we got that on the right, so we need to go to the left. So we go to the left and I rub and I come up. And same thing again, go up here, then retreat. She's turning away from it, so I'll just keep rubbing, I'll keep rubbing, and then she tilted her nose into it. So she considered it. So what you do is, now she's moving, right, I've got to keep rubbing, and she stops. So I go back to the wither. And what you've got to sort of remember is, because human beings do things to the horse and not with the horse, they come detached. The horse becomes detached from them, and the horse becomes resentful because they're a horse, they're not a human being, and if you keep doing the same thing, you're always going to get the same result. So by leading them, right, if she goes forward and I go back here, she disengages. Right? But I've met a lot of horses. When a horse wants to bolt, run away because they're fearful, they come real solid through their spine so they can go forward as fast as possible. Muscles are pumped up, everything, cortisol. Right, not going out of the way to be disrespectful and all that jazz. So they go straight, right? And then that's when, if you've stood behind them doing the water skiing thing and you think it's funny and it's great, you're creating a problem. You're the problem, not the horse. The horse is being a horse, and you are creating a problem because you are you are 80% part of that problem. And then that's when we have to get the hind under control. So we're like, move, and she moves. But that is another story for another day. Hind under control. And back her out. Back her out. Right, backing up teaches, no, I don't want forward, I want you to back up. I want you to back up. It's a trust thing, a respect thing, confidence, because they've got a blind spot right behind them. So, well, I haven't got a stick or a string. This is my stick and my string, my fingers, my hands, because all the stick and the string is an extension of my arm. So she's just got herself around that, so I'm going to change ours. Don't need the stick and the string. The stick and the string is just there to help you out when you start. Same thing again. See, that's what you want. So she start, oh, there's pressure, I'll move away from that. So when they start to run themselves into trying to look like pressure's turned up, right, I'll move away from that, because otherwise trouble's going to turn up. Because this is one of the reasons, like I said, webbing halter, because, right, let's just move her over there, webbing halter, right, I can turn them inside out and I can do the knot up from the right hand side. And this is something I do quite a lot, yeah, because it gets the horse used to, it balances them up, it gets me more handy, because to do this you've got to be handy, right, you've got to be able, whatever you do on your right, you've got to be able to do on your left. Right, and that's riding, and that's another problem I see. So many people are not balanced up. They're pushing harder off of one leg, yeah, instead of, yeah, and it's all to do with physical being, muscle memory. And this is all you're doing here, right? If you go Google the sympathetic nervous system and cortisol, and then if you go and Google dendrites, yeah, go and find out what dendrites are, right? Because this is what we're increasing. We're increasing dendrites. And you may think, oh, all you're doing is walking around hills. Hugely important, because if you're going to go and work in the industry, talking about the industry, I've worked in it for 25,000 hours. Did I mention that? Dyslexic, got a real terrible memory. All you're going to do is be a glorified labourer, and you're going to move horses about. Right? And I've moved so many horses around that just have no education on the ground, because the educational part of it is just completely overlooked in this country, completely overlooked, because they think it's all about the destination, ride, 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 ride. And then when trouble turns up, and trouble will turn up, right, what do? Oh, we'll just lunge them, we'll just long line them. But the problem is, you've gone to an event and you've come up to your jump or whatever, and there's somebody standing with a brolly and they're twisting it like this. Right, she worked that out, she trod on it, that's what they need to work out. There's somebody twisting a brolly like this and your horse ducks out. How are you going to get around that? Well, you're just going to start beating on it with a crop and kicking it with your spurs and pulling it in the face and telling it to stop being so stupid. That's you putting human values and emotions onto horses. They are a horse. They are not a human being, right? You have to trust them 98% of the time, but you have to hold 2% for the prey animal. And if you can't be bothered to do something as simple as this, right, you're all about the destination. You're not about the journey. And this is to do with the journey. And I say, she gets it. Not a problem. But there's the other part of it. I've got to have a mindset in my head of how this is going to work, how this is going to go. Is this going to turn into trouble? No, it's not going to turn into trouble, because we've got this under control. Yes, we've obviously worked on this, but that's the thing. It all takes time. You can't get it all done in half hour, 40 minutes. Right, she's moving her feet, so that's it. She stopped moving her feet. I'm going to take it away, take it down, stick it on the floor, walk away from it. But this is what a lot of human beings can't do, is just walk away. because you're all straight line thinkers. You all think from A to B. I don't think like that. I'm dyslexic. Go Google the skill sets of a dyslexic person. Huge. We think like this. Everywhere. There's no box. We don't live in a box. We have to work around the outside of it. We're on the outside of the box where you're firmly locked into the box because you're doing it like everybody else has done it. So let's see what we got here. Right, go on then. Right, so she gets a bit of a move on, and then we'll come through here. Then we bring it around here, support. See, I'm using the rope to guide her. The flag is to support her. Okay, I'm going to give you that because you did it 3 or 4 times. So I'm not going to make you wrong, and then I'm going to come in and make a fuss of her. So let's see what we got. Right. Like I said before, before you get also lower his head, the looser in the spine, the calmer in the mind. See how licking and chewing? And like I've said before, and I say it again, 3-stage breathing. Breathe in through your nose, hold from your belly, breathe out. Really, 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 really important. You breathe. If you suffer with anxiety, panic attacks, hugely, hugely beneficial. So, we've got it pretty good there. Let's see what we've got on the rein. This is my rein, so no, she's going backwards. So, let's see what we've got here. Pretty good. Let's just turn around here a bit. Let's see what we've got here. Oh no, we're a bit tight on the right. Oh no, she's giving it to it. She actually sort of appreciates it. Right. And every time you climb up on the back of a horse, right, you should do that. And I'll just run that through for the British equine experts, right? You cannot do enough of this, right? Because if they're free in their spine, they're free in their mind. So you're sitting on the back and we want you to stretch. A bit like yoga, I suppose. Not so much Pilates because I use gizmos and gadgets, but very much like yoga. That's it. Ooh. And we have to relax when we do it and breathe and not, oh, you come here, I'm going to get over your face. Come on. And I'm going to keep going over this because this is hugely important. I've never, ever, in my 25,000 hours of working in the British equine industry, in being around horses for 2 decades, I've never seen anybody do that before they go ride, competition, anything. They just hop on board and they just grab hold of their face. And they stick them right into collection straight away. I just do not understand that. They're not in collection, they're just bending them into because they've got this thing in their head about horses on the vertical. And horses should self-carriage. They should learn self-carriage without being bent into shape. But no, in the British equine industry, we haven't got time for that because it's all time, money, and time is money, and that's what it's all about. But this needs to be passed on to the young grooms that are coming through the British equine industry, because it's a conversation that needs to be had. Because British equine industry, mate, no ifs or buts about it, you're a glorified labourer that has to move horses around that are pretty wired. It's you that gets hurt, and You ain't going to get sick pay off of them. You ain't going to get any sympathy. It's just like when you come back to work. And then they're like, oh, don't worry, I've got somebody else in. And like I said, if you can't do things like this, there's a problem. Shouldn't have to kick and stripe a horse to make it go forward. Right, so she's dealing with that. No, you need to back it out. And like I said, and I'll say it again, you train, sorry, I stopped using that word. You teach two sides of a horse, right? Because it makes a whole horse. And that's what I see through my dyslexic eyes. Because what I see through my dyslexic eyes, right, is these patterns, and the biggest pattern of all is doing everything from this side of the horse, leading horses short, because if you think you've got control of an animal that's this big, holding it like that, you're a complete and utter idiot. Trouble's going to catch you. And when trouble turns up, it's going to turn up big. These traditions, these wives' tales, these, you know, let's remember the British equine industry does work for NASA as well, because they're rocket scientists, but they're not. They're stuck in the dark ages and they don't understand simple thing like a foundation. And as I said, the more you can get horse to follow you, right, the more you're going to get done, right? Because you could say it's Monty Magic, hook up, join up, all of that. There's no such thing as horse whispering. This is pure psychology. And that's why I'm saying to you, being psychology based, what it is, you need to go and learn about sympathetic nervous system and cortisol in horses and humans, right? And it will teach you so much. Even if you don't own a horse, right? If you're suffering with anxiety, and that's one of the reasons I got into horses, because of that, I learnt about the sympathetic nervous system, and I learnt about cortisol. And then I started to think about, oh, because of my checkered journey, growing up dyslexic, being classed as an idiot, thick, stupid, and so much more, going through a very violent divorce, being fostered out, going to reform school, and lots of other bits and pieces. You're never going to make it, you're never going to do it. I was loaded with this thing called cortisol. Absolutely loaded with it. And cortisol is addictive to human beings. So it's certainly addictive to horses. And when horses start running on it, they become very unpredictable. And that's where I'm here to try and help educate people that need educating. Not the ones that are here that want to learn, the ones that are here that are going to go, oh no, you're talking shit, it's circus tricks, it's hypnotising, you're doping that horse, all of this, yeah? You're the one I need to educate. You're the one that broke me mentally. If you can break me mentally, yeah, you can break a horse mentally, because that's what breaking is. Listen to the word. I sent him away to be broke. They break him physically, emotionally, and mentally. So at that one, like I said, go Google sympathetic nervous system and cortisol, and we'll see you in the next one.